Hello there, welcome back to Strive's Talking Points. Today I want to cover something that I've actually already got two other videos on. However, this is just going through the current state of Captain Marvel and kind of how everything is just really slanted. And I've got a lot of stuff to go over, so I'm just going to jump right into it. Captain Marvel's first reaction: the MCU feels more complete. Apparently, Goose Denver's a cat is getting a lot of attention from audiences. According to Katie Burt from Den of Geeks, cat people will love this movie. I don't know if anyone has ever told the people at Marvel, at Disney Film, that cat people and such are not their core audience. Burt added, the MCU feels more complete right now. What you got here is the article from Variety, and they go through cat people love this movie, several truly magnificent music moments for 90s kids, not related to the cats, not really a very important part of it. Music, very important to a movie, but not all about the movie. Carol's hero moment was very cathartic, true to female experiences. No one on the planet is a superhero being able to fly, shoot bolts of energy out of their hands. No one is actually the Hulk. No one is honestly Thor. It's not real. There is no true male or female experience in a superhero movie, which is the point of the movie. The MCU feels more complete now that Carol is in it. You're going to see a lot of glowing reviews. Space battles, car chases. You'll notice here, woman. This, I believe, is a guy fighting on Twist. Woman. Guy. A lot of fun, just enough 90s nostalgia without overdoing it. Brie Larson is great. Ditto, Sam Jackson, Ben Mendelsohn. Goose the cat is perfect. Again, the cat reference. You gotta throw the cat in there. Some nice surprises and clever decisions throughout. Cool sci-fi elements. Funny thumbs up. Scott Menzel. Another thing about Captain Marvel, pays homage to the 90s with its soundtrack to technology being used. Very much nostalgia play right there. They want you to go for nostalgia. Marvel was my ultimate 90s nerd girl fever dream. A cat that she loves. Ben Mendelsohn gives Samuel Jackson a run for his scene stealer money, but ultimately cool. Brie Larson harnesses the power of being just a girl. All right, so yeah, what is the point of all this? This is actually a picture of Monica Rambeau. In the comic books, this is actually the Captain Marvel moniker before this is. So Brie Larson actually kind of trumped her and stole the role, which should have gone here, and then she should have came in after the fact. But hey, that doesn't matter because this thing is unimportant. Love the cat, love Sam L, love Ben Mendelsohn, but honestly, I'm calling Lashana Lynch as MVP. Monica Rambeau, she brings emotional weight to the film that's needed and transforms the entire movie upon arrival. Definitely need to see more of her. Captain Marvel Twitter. All right, so this is the Variety article. There's also almost the exact same thing here from Pedestrian. I believe this is a Australian magazine, which basically just cuts and pastes the exact same reviews, slightly different order. Going through, just more of the same. You can see them, they're throwing all these. Some are built, some are made, some are born on March 8th. Witness the rise of a hero. Yeah. I went through some of these people's Twitters. This is one of the ladies that's reviewed it there. She was most excited, honestly, because she wore the same shirt as the person in the movie. If you watch Captain Marvel, apparently half the movie she's wearing a 9 Inch Nails t-shirt. And that is truly what matters to everyone. Right here she is. It's embarrassing. It's an earnestness to Captain Marvel that feels different than other MCU films. I got chills watching Carol Danvers get back up over and over again. I don't know that she's ever seen any of the Captain America movies or the Iron Man movies or Civil War or Thor Ragnarok or Thor or any of the movies where it's over and over and over. But hey, it is great though that Carol Danvers wears the same shirt as hers and Nine Inch Nails music is in there. She goes all over this, praise for the movie. Funniest, Ben Mendelsohn's most endearing world ever. Music, lots of Easter eggs tied into the other movies. Watch closely, and there's a tribute at the beginning of the movie to Stan Lee. Another one here, Unstoppable Force Captain Marvel, a supreme embodiment of late 80s and 90s heroines that we looked up to, fully formed with agency. What does that even mean? And whose main relationship is with her best friend. So many girls are going to see themselves, their struggle, their fight. If you're a girl and you have superpowers and can fly and shoot energy beams and are kidnapped by an alien race to be experimented upon, please share your experiences below. That would be really nice of you. This lady here, they defeated toxic masculinity in this video. This is just weird. These guys do this for all Marvel stuff. We've had women superheroes for years, and I don't know, these guys are comedians, which is kind of the strange part. They make these videos for everything. Spider-Man trailer, it's Captain Marvel video, something weird with Kermit the Frog. They just kind of get wild with it, and that's more or less pointless, but I thought they were kind of funny, spitting everywhere. This is another one. This is Katie Burt. This is the initial one that gave her the tops. Sometimes the things I write seem fairly redundant and or obvious, and then I read the comment section, so I guess I'll keep writing them. Why boys and men need Doctor Who Season 11 2. Jodie Whittaker's message to boys watching Doctor Who. It's okay to look up to women. Most boys will look up to their mother, their aunts, their family as a positive role model. Jodie Whittaker, this whole thing has been described as she's basically a bland character, and the other people are where all the storyline goes, and it's basically pointless. Goes on about Winona Earp, and Snow. For real, Star Trek Discovery fans, take the time to watch the short before tonight's episode, Disco's episode. No one is really watching that. I think they've had some releases on numbers where 20, 30,000 people are watching it in Canada, and it's just falling apart. That is really strange. Anyway, we're going to move on. Oh, wait, there it was. Captain Marvel, a superhero movie that centers female friendships, female mentorships, and cats. I really, really love it. How weird. All these early praise all focused on woman, cats, and soundtrack. That's really it. Here's the early release of Captain America. It's incredible. I could go all nights with this, but one last thing. The airport scene is one of the probably the best super action scenes ever. It's not perfect, but it's better than Ultron, Batman vs. Superman. Every character gets proper moment, and we meet Spider-Man. I slept on it, and I still love Civil War. So Civil War, they were talking about Captain America Civil War is so good. It's better than Avengers movie. It's a better Avengers movie than the Avengers movie. At 8 p.m., Winter Soldier was my favorite MCU film. 2.5 hours later, Civil War is. These are the early reports. There is no pulling punches on this. They're talking about the movie, actually action scenes. They're not just saying, a cat. I don't know if any of the people in the Spider-Man or in Civil War had pets, but hey. And a lot of stuff in there. Here's Thor Ragnarok. Laugh out loud funny, stumbles a bit at first, but then triumphs when it gets weird with it. That's how Ragnarok worked. Jeff Goldblum was my favorite part of Thor Ragnarok, nonsensical and kooky as ever. This is Anna here, who best part of Captain Marvel for her was the T-shirt and the cat. So I don't know if the cat's a speaking role or not, so can't go there. The best Thor movie, Cate Blanchett scene stealing, Just Go Bloom, Go Blooming. Best Thor movie, still not awesome. Anyway, what I got to say is here is you have super positive, meaningless praise of Captain Marvel where they don't get anything. They're just saying 90s nostalgia, cat. That's it. In these movies, they give you kind of a breakdown. This is also something that's kind of trending. Women-led films outperform movies with male leads at the box office, studies finds. So they found that over the course of, I believe it's a 3-year period, from 2014 to 2017, movies that had women as the lead or in the lead roles did better. So I went and looked this up. Transformers, The Hobbit, Guardians of the Galaxy, Maleficent, Hunger Games. Okay, so female hero movies. All right, so we have Hunger Games Part 1. I don't know if anybody remembers this, but there was a series of movies called The Hunger Games, starred a woman, extremely popular. Everybody loved them. I'm actually watching them with my son now. Maleficent, look at that. $760 million worldwide. Maleficent, Hunger Games Part 1, huge movies. Guardians of the Galaxy, there are 2 women in this movie that are pretty prominent. The green one and the blue one. Cannot think of their names right now, but oh well. Hobbit, they actually added a single lady to the thing, not part of the story. The female elf, which is interesting. Transformers Age of Extinction. It's a mixed cast. You got men and women in there everywhere. Not a great movie, but big box office budget. Star Wars Force Awakens. This right here technically has the major lead is female in Daisy Ridley. Overall, this movie did really well. A lot of people are saying it's basically based on nostalgia. It was a total reset, a reboot of the first A New Hope version of the movie. I really liked it. I really liked all the storylines up until what happened with the franchise happened, Jurassic World. Good movie. That's a split lead, male, female, Fast and Furious. I have seen any of those movies since I think the second one. Age of Ultron, again, ensemble cast. You're adding in Black Widow, Scarlet Witch, mix that will pass as they get here at the end. That will pass the Bechdel test. Minions. God, I hate Minion shows. James Bond movie, Inside Out. You'll notice female. I'm guessing there's a woman in there. Yeah, Michelle Rodriguez. Age of Ultron, of course, has a couple women, female voice actors, female side beside James Bond, female voice actors. Mission Impossible, Rogue Nation, Hunger Games, again, a strict female-led franchise, and The Martian, just one guy on a planet by himself. Captain America Civil War, huge movie, positive press, one of the more loved movies, female-led Star Wars movie. Now what you see here, $1.0 billion for a straight-out, off-the-wall movie. One of a kind in the Star Wars universe, just a one-off. 2.06 billion. Let's just call it 2 billion. Next year, an out-and-out franchise movie, $1 billion. We go to The Last Jedi, which got split the fan base, if you want to call it that, which is kind of what's going on here. You're seeing with the way they're marketing Captain Marvel as a female feminist movie. You see that whenever The Last Jedi hit, you go from $2 billion to $1.3 billion, somewhere around $800 million out, and it didn't beat Rogue One by that much. And actually, its box office, and again, you'll see a female-led movie. There was no feminist marketing on this. I did see some glass ceiling articles about how well it did, but everyone loved Wonder Woman. Thor Ragnarok, the main villain was a woman. It added in a couple of others with the they're not making a big deal out of it. Guardians of the Galaxy again, Gamora and her sister are a big part of the story. Never heard of that. That's very interesting, though. Spider-Man Homecoming, Beauty and the Beast, Fate of the Furious, Don't Care, Jumanji. Big cast. Karen Gillan is doing really well in her roles. You know, she's in Guardians of the Galaxy. She's in Jumanji. She's actually moving along from where I first saw her in Doctor Who. So what you've got here is Captain Marvel is loading up as a super feminist positivity movie, and it is out there to make a point. If you remember Brie Larson, one of her big things was she didn't need a 40-year-old white guy telling her why A Wrinkle in Time didn't work. Well, A Wrinkle in Time is a massive box office flop. So the movie, she doesn't need white dudes to tell her why it didn't work for them. Giant flop. Solo, a Star Wars movie. $250 million to make it. Didn't double the money, so of course they didn't make any money off of it. Huge box office flop, and that falls right after The Last Jedi, which split the fan base, angered everyone. The last time you really had a truly marketed feminist movie would probably be A Wrinkle in Time, which failed, and then you would also have Ghostbusters 2016, $150 million on the movie roughly, and didn't do anything, made no money, and is sort of one of the worst movies I've ever seen. My son loved the original Ghostbusters, so we watched that one, and disappointed all the way through. Thankfully, I didn't go see it at the movies. I watched it on, I think I borrowed somebody's DVD copy. Anyway, so what you're seeing here is an agenda movie. Brie Larson said she didn't need people to tell her why it didn't work for her. The fallout after Last Jedi, and a movie being marketed more or less as this is Ghostbusters 2016. Big failures, all coming across. And then you see Avengers Infinity War, $2 billion. Black Panther, $1.3 billion. Marvel is starting to come into that point where they've been so successful for so long that now they're taking this shot with Captain Marvel. They're allowing Brie Larson to go out there and to market it as an agenda, a feminist movie, which, again, Wrinkle in Time, Ghostbusters, both failed. And the movie that followed that, the split in the fan base that Star Wars caused, the Solo movie. And, you know, it's just one of those things where you can see where their returns have been really good on all the Marvel movies except for The Incredible Hulk in 2008, which really didn't make any money. It just kind of floundered, whatever you want to say. The rest of the Marvel movies, you'll notice here, there's been a big uptick in revenue as these things get more and more and more popular. Revenue keeps going up and up and up. Except for like Captain, here's a $130 million, $600 million. So their Ant-Man's not getting a huge budget. Captain Marvel's got this. And, maybe you'll see a $600 million Captain Marvel movie, but I doubt it. Women are box office gold, except when they're not. When the movies have women in them, women in there, women in there, women in there, women in there, woman in there. These all do really well because they're marketed as movies, as mass things. When something is marketed as a straight up feminist cause, Wrinkle in Time, Ghostbusters, they fail. You just can't go after the fan base. And again, this has been being pushed around for the last couple of months. This is from December. These are all December when they fall along that same story. You're just seeing it over and over and over again. And, I don't get it. If you ever go and look up Captain Marvel comic book sales as far as where she falls in there, these, number one, just a few thousand units. You'll see, I believe most of the Captain Marvel stuff at its peak will sell 50,000 units. You can just scroll through here, pause, look. Life of Captain Marvel #3. Halloween Spooktacular with Captain Marvel. Carol Danvers, The Marvel Years. That's a big book. They're just not popular. This is their actual sales rank for the month that we're looking at. This one here was released June or July of last year, so 74,000. That is the peak. Life of Captain Marvel. Look at issue #2. 40,000 units down. 1 month later. She is not going to blow us all away unless somehow, some way, this movie isn't everything it seems. I'm honestly waiting for Metacritic to come out to actually see reviewers. Everybody's been talking about Rotten Tomato and the review bombing. That's not happening. You can't review bomb on Rotten Tomatoes until after the movie comes out. And even then, that would be the interesting thing. I looked up Ben Mendelsohn. I was actually confused about who he was. I really liked him in Rogue One and a few other parts I've seen him in. He was the bad guy in Ready Player One, the bad guy here. I'm assuming he's the bad guy. He's basically a bad guy. Dark Knight Rises, he was the rich Hollywood guy that paid Bane off. So interesting, but you get what you got. Anyway, these are my thoughts on Captain Marvel. You've had female-led movies for decades, and female superheroes and female action heroes and all this. And Captain Marvel is not anything new, except for the marketing as a feminist movie in the MCU universe. And I don't know. It doesn't make sense to me that they're doing this. But what do I know? I'm one of the majority fans for this type of movie. I do believe it's something where around 60 or 65% of the fan base are men. And of that, I'm assuming a lot of them are white, because that's the majority of the people that buy comic books as well. And, I wonder if the other 40% are the dates that we forced to go with us to watch the movie. Anyhow, thank you for your time. Please comment below and have a great day.